Wednesday, once you arrive. You can never leave Scariest story on YouTube. The road to Dreadmore was narrow, flanked by crooked trees that leaned like they were whispering secrets to each other. Daniel's car sputtered as it rolled into the village, tires crunching gravel in the dead silence. No birds. No breeze. Just a stillness that wrapped around him like a shroud. He parked outside an old inn, the only building with light. Its wooden sign, cracked and barely hanging, read, "The Weeping Stag." As he stepped inside, the scent of damp wood and something faintly metallic hit him. A pale woman behind the counter looked up, her eyes cloudy and sunken. "Room for one?" he asked. She nodded slowly. "You shouldn't stay past Tuesday." "Excuse me." But she handed him a key and looked away, her hands trembling as she scratched at something beneath the counter. Daniel caught a glimpse of her arm, etched with small crosses and jagged scars. Later, in his room, the air felt thick, heavy with something unseen. The window overlooked a foggy forest, and just beyond the trees, he saw something, tall, thin, unmoving. Watching. He blinked. It was gone. At dinner, the inn was empty. No other guests. No chatter. He asked the woman about the forest. "Don't go in." "Why not?" She looked up sharply. "It watches." Back in his room, he tried calling his brother. No signal. No Wi-Fi. His phone's battery drained fast, though it was nearly full before arriving. The air grew colder. In the mirror, something flickered behind him, a gaunt shape, head tilted unnaturally. He spun around. Nothing. At 3:33 a.m., he woke with a start. The same time showed on his alarm clock, phone, and even the watch he hadn't used in years. He heard footsteps above him, but he was on the top floor. Creak. 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 Then a long, dragging sound, like fingernails across the floor. He turned on the light. Nothing. Daniel stared into the hallway through the peephole. Darkness. Then, a flash of movement. A face, eyeless and grinning, pressed close for a second. Then gone. He locked the door, his hands shaking. Sleep didn't come easily. Outside, the forest whispered. Wednesday was coming. Daniel awoke with the sense that something was terribly wrong. The sunlight was dim, filtered like it had to fight its way through a veil. Every clock still read 3:33 a.m., even though it had to be mid-morning. He approached the innkeeper. "All your clocks are broken," he said. "They're not broken," she replied. "Time stops here, on Wednesday." "That's tomorrow." She said nothing, just turned and walked into the back room, the door creaking shut behind her. He stepped outside. The town looked abandoned. Buildings boarded up. Shops empty. A black crow sat on a lamppost, staring with dead eyes. It didn't move as he passed beneath it. At the village edge, he tried to drive away, but his car wouldn't start. The dashboard blinked violently, then went black. He popped the hood. Everything looked fine. Suddenly, a whisper, "You can't leave." He spun around. No one there. Returning to the inn, he noticed scratches on the front door, deep, fresh claw marks. Upstairs, his room had grown colder. His belongings were disturbed. The mirror was shattered. Across the wall, written in something dark and sticky, were the words. "The Hollow One see you." Daniel backed away, heart pounding. The air pulsed with something ancient, foul. That night, as darkness fell, he lit a candle. The light flickered violently. Then went out. He grabbed his flashlight, dead. In total darkness, he heard it. A faint dragging sound across the ceiling. Then whispers. Then breathing, right behind him. He turned, trembling. No one there. Then, scratches. For long lines appeared on the door from the inside, carving themselves as he watched. And then, silence. He didn't sleep. Wednesday had begun. When Daniel opened the curtains, the world was gone. Fog choked the village. Thick, gray, suffocating. Shapes moved inside it, too tall, too thin. Faces without eyes. He stepped outside, drawn by something beyond fear. In the fog, the forest called. Its trees twisted unnaturally, bark split like old skin. A narrow path appeared, one that hadn't been there before. He followed. The deeper he went, the more wrong everything felt. Trees seemed to move, inching closer when he wasn't looking. Whispers came from beneath the roots, and something brushed his leg, wet, cold, not human. Then he saw it, an altar. Ancient, covered in black vines and dried blood. Beside it, a book half buried in moss. He pulled it free. Its pages were filled with frantic scrawls. She is the void that births silence. Do not breathe her name. The hollow mother takes what isn't offered. Every Wednesday, one must stay. Suddenly, a child's voice behind him. Are you the offering? He turned. A girl with no eyes, mouth sewn shut, stared up at him. Then vanished into the mist. Daniel ran. Branches clawed at him. He tripped, fell, rolled, and landed at the village's edge. The fog retreated behind him like a living thing. That night, he found new scratches on his skin, shapes like symbols. Burned into him. His reflection didn't match his movements anymore. And in the mirror behind him, someone else was standing. Wednesday. The sky never changed. No sunrise, no clouds, just a dull, lifeless gray. Like the heavens themselves had turned to ash. Daniel tried to light a candle. It sparked, then hissed out. The matches crumbled in his hand like dry leaves. The flashlight refused to work. His phone screen flickered with static. He stepped outside. The village was empty. Doors wide open, chairs overturned. No people. No sound. Even the wind had abandoned this place. Daniel shouted, "Hello." His voice didn't echo. It just died in the air. He wandered through the town square. A statue stood where there had been none before, a woman, tall and thin, with no face. Her hands outstretched. At her feet, an open mouth carved into the stone, screaming in silence. As he turned away, he heard breathing. Close. He spun around. Nothing. Again, the breathing. Wet. Shallow. Right behind him. Then, a whisper in his ear, "It's time." He ran. Buildings shifted as he passed them, windows melting, doors pulsing like hearts. The village no longer obeyed the laws of space. Inside the inn, he locked the door. The walls began to scratch. Not from outside, from within. The wallpaper peeled back, revealing hundreds of eyes stitched into the wood. They blinked. And began to bleed. Daniel collapsed in the corner, muttering. Then, silence. He looked up. One word had appeared on the ceiling. Stay. And in the mirror, he saw a crowd forming behind him. Grinning. Hollow. The door shattered inward. They poured in, not villagers anymore, but things wearing their skin. Hollow-eyed, with mouths that split too wide. Their hands were long, fingers ending in black bone. They didn't speak. They dragged Daniel through the empty village, down into the earth. Beneath Dreadmore, tunnels spiraled like veins. The walls pulsed. The air smelled of rot and old meat. The altar waited. It was larger now, alive. Breathing. Made of flesh and stone and bone. They chained him to it. The chains were wet. From the shadows, something slithered forward, towering, multi-limbed, a mass of writhing arms and heads. A woman's face stretched across its chest, eyes gouged out, mouth still whispering. The Hollow Mother. The ritual began. The Hollow Ones chanted. Words that made Daniel's teeth ache and bleed. Blood spilled in patterns on the floor. Symbols that moved when he blinked. One of them leaned in and whispered, "She doesn't take the body. She takes the soul." Then they carved his name into the altar. Daniel screamed as the Hollow Mother reached forward, her hand passing through his chest, grabbing what couldn't be seen. And he felt it. His self, being pulled apart. Daniel woke, gasping. But it wasn't breath. He stood. But it wasn't him. His eyes were gone, yet he saw everything, colors that didn't exist. Sounds from before the world. His skin crawled on its own, like it remembered things he didn't. He wandered the woods. The fog parted for him now. The trees whispered prayers in reverse. Birds hung from branches, skinned, still twitching. He came upon a child, lost. The boy looked up. "Are you a person?" Daniel leaned down. Smiled with teeth that didn't end. "No." He led the boy back to Dreadmore. The Hollow Ones waited. The ritual would begin again. Daniel was no longer a man. He was a vessel. A mouth through which the Hollow Mother spoke. The town changed daily now. Time folded around Wednesday. The villagers were all hollow. They watched, waited, whispered. And Daniel waited too. For the next soul. The car rolled into Dreadmore, tires crunching gravel. A man stepped out, stretching. His phone buzzed, then died. He looked around, puzzled. The village looked quiet. Empty. He walked into the inn. The sign now read, "The Hollow Stag." At the desk stood a man with hollow eyes and a wide grin. "Room for one?" the traveler asked. Daniel nodded slowly. "Of course." He handed over the key. "Just don't stay past Tuesday." "Why?" Daniel smiled. The lights flickered. The clocks on the wall all ticked, then froze. 3:33 a.m. Outside, the woods began to whisper. And deep beneath the earth, something stirred. Waiting. Always waiting. Wednesday was coming again.